So I'm going to begin today with the conclusion. And I normally don't do that. So the conclusion of the sermon is, don't put away your mezuzahs. Don't put them away. A mezuzah is what we put on usually the outer doorpost of our home. It has a piece of parchment with the Shema. It has our deepest values. And it is the most public daily expression of being Jewish. And it has been a lot. And it's been a lot for a long time. And I understand why people are very nervous and very concerned about expressing their identity as Jews publicly. Whether it's in the actual public, whether it is in social media, it is ugly and it is difficult and it is scary, and I get it, but don't put your mezuzahs away. Again, I understand it's been a lot. We had years of COVID where families were with young children who were doing school virtually, and everyone was doing their best to keep people safe, but it was a lot. And then there were school safety issues, and those are a lot too. We have put a lot on our kids, and then beginning October 7th, when it feels the entire world shifted on its axis, and local tragedies. I know even if you didn't know Sam Wool, it still went right through your heart. And it has been a lot, and we are nervous and we are afraid, and we feel pretty alone. And we as a community have been blessed. We have some real friends. I'm going to continue to embarrass my good friend, Reverend Mimi Bedrone, who is the pastor of North Congregational Church in Farmington Hills, and who is a genuine friend, and I would not have gotten through the last few years without her guidance. And she and her congregation are true friends. But we've also found out who are not our friends, and it's heartbreaking. And I think some of us feel unsafe, where what it really is to some extent is feeling unloved and misunderstood. So I know who is with us and I know who is not, and I am not wasting any more time on people who are not with us. I am not begging for any more support, and I am not trying to explain any more why I should be allowed to exist. It's like buying your own birthday card and begging people to sign it. I am not doing that anymore. I am spending my energy on my people, and I am spending my energy on the people who are with us, and I am not wasting another minute on people who are not. If I have to tell you that I have a right to exist, I am wasting my breath. There are differences on politics, there are differences on policy, but whether I, as a Jew, have a right to exist on this earth, which is what is really being fought over, I am done justifying myself. This is not our first crisis. And in the Talmud, they actually deal with the issue of what do you do about your public Judaism when you are afraid and you are in danger. And it actually has to do with Hanukkah, which is the next holiday that we'll be celebrating as a people. Hanukkah is the most public of Jewish holidays. Passover is very private. It's in our homes, it's family and friends. We actually opened the door. The origins of opening the door at the Seder was actually to look out for spies who may have been looking in. This was during the Spanish Inquisition, of people who would have outed Jews publicly. Passover is very private. Hanukkah, the essence of it is called Pirsuma de Nisa, the publicizing of the Hanukkah miracle. And we put out the Chanukiah, we put out the Hanukkah candles, and they were actually right outside the door. But it asks in the Talmud, in the tractate of Shabbat, what do you do in a time of danger? It says you bring the candles indoors. You bring them, you still light them, you still remember the miracle, but you don't have to put your life at risk for this. So there's a discussion of whether the mezuzah is sort of the same thing. But I think it's very important right now that we think about the difference between being afraid and being in danger. Right? The world in general is not a safe place. It's a scary place. And again, on behalf of every adult, I want to apologize to every young person for the world we're giving you. And I pray that you make it better. And that's why seeing all the young people here today gives me so much hope and so much gratitude. But we shouldn't be acting on our fears. We are very fortunate that one of the very first people who called me during this crisis, aside from Reverend Bergman, was the Farmington Hills Chief of Police. That didn't happen in the past. We have government support, we have law enforcement support. I know things are scary, but we can't act on that, because otherwise they win. When we become invisible, when we make ourselves small, when we stop being who we are, then they've won. But I get the fear. I understand the concern about the mezuzah, especially people who have kids at home. Like our kids, Ruth and our kids, they live in New York. They're adults. I worry every day. Now, I worried before, but I can't give in to it. I can't tell them to stop living their lives. I can't tell them to hide. But there is an interesting discussion about what to do with the mezuzah if your fear is so overwhelming, is you can put it on the inside of the door, not the outside of the door. I'm not suggesting that you have to do that, or even that you should do it, but if you're at a place where the fear is deep, that it's preventing you from sort of going on with your life, you can move it to the inside of the door. The mezuzah is not a magic charm. It doesn't keep bad things from happening. What a mezuzah is a reminder of who we are in the best of circumstances. It's a reminder of who we are in the worst of circumstances. We have never given up as a people, and we have never given in, and we never, ever, ever will. And I promise you to my last breath, I will not give up on us, and I will not harden my heart. We are still here. We have gone through things that would have ended other peoples and civilizations, and we are still here. We are not alone. We are in this together. Put your mezuzah where you feel safe, but keep it somewhere where you and your loved ones can see it, and you will see your true self reflected in it. Shabbat Shalom.